I'm gonna refilm this intro because I felt like I was too shy at the beginning. Just kidding. Hello, Happy New Year. I'm refilming this intro because the more I talk, the more I was able to open up. That's just how I am. I just wanted to recap my 2 weeks that I had of a break and everything that happened in between, because I think it was a very meaningful end of 2025 and into 2026. I just don't want to forget it. Hello and Happy New Year. I just wanted to talk about the things that I did this break. I was able to get 2 weeks off of work, and it was a very, let's say, enlightening 2 weeks. I had a lot of time to myself, with family, with friends. I just washed my hair, so it's very wet. You'll probably see the drying process of my hair. And I have a gigantic zit on my chin. What can we do about it? I don't have any pimple patches. It's actually been living there for a couple of weeks. I have everything written here in my little notebook, and literally it's chicken scratch, but it's just talking points. First of all, I started cat sitting. I was cat sitting for the whole holiday season, basically. That was great. I got to spend time with Thomas the cat, who is incredible. If anyone has ever been lucky enough to meet him, he is generally one of the best cats, and he gave me such the cuddliest, sweetest time this time around, and he was the best. But I started cat sitting before Christmas break. Right, I think a couple days before Christmas, my cousin Andrea from Arizona came to visit because she was graduating from Penn State, and it was a whole family trip that we planned to go and drive her to Pennsylvania. We already booked an Airbnb, and we were able to see her walk across the stage. So that was really exciting, and I was super proud of her. I asked her this time around, I was like, what's absolutely one thing on your list that we need to do? And it was go to a jazz bar. So we went to a jazz bar, and it was my first time ever going to a jazz bar. And I went with her and my roommate, and yeah, it was super cool. Definitely would go again, and I definitely recommend the place that we went to. I don't remember the name. I think it's called St. Mazzie's, but I'm gonna put it over here. And it was also my roommate's birthday, so me and my cousin and my roommate literally did a party, all three of us together. That was like a Friday, right? And she had to graduate on a Sunday, but we had to drive out to Pennsylvania on a Saturday. So literally that Friday night, we partied all the way into Saturday morning. We didn't come home until I think 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we had to wake up at 7 o'clock to get our asses down to Long Island so that we can meet up with my parents so that we can drive all the way to Pennsylvania. So definitely we had the goal of leaving at 7:30 from Brooklyn. We woke up at 7:30. My cousin literally poked me. We were sleeping in the same bed. My cousin poked me and she was like, it's 7:30. Bro, I literally went, we have to go. We have to. And took an Uber, hungover, not even, maybe still drunk, all the way back down to my parents' house. And we got there and knocked out on their couch until it was time to dip out to Pennsylvania. And we went to one of the most fanciest Sabor de Colombia ever. don't know if you guys ever have been handed an iPad for a menu yet, but at this restaurant, everyone had iPads for menus. I don't think I like that. I don't think I like that at all. We ate, and then I just slept a bunch in the car because I knew that my dad was gonna ask me to help him to drive, so I needed to sober up and stay awake. I just knocked out in the car until he was like, all right, kid, it's your turn. And that was only until we were like an hour or two away from our destination. We stopped at a gas station and I got myself a cherry Coke, and I went behind the wheel and I zoomed all the way up. In our Airbnb behind, like in the backyard, you can see the neighbors like house, and they had horses. The night that we got there, well, at first I was just tired from the whole damn day, so I like didn't want to go out at all. I like demanded to take a shower. I needed to use the bathroom. I just needed to be horizontal for a little while. But of course, like, we all got hungry, so where are we gonna eat? Texas Roadhouse.
If you're ready for a good night of fun and partying, go to the Texas Roadhouse. They know how to do it right.
Honestly, those buns will always bring me back to life. There's a Texas Roadhouse in Long Island that I've gone to, and every time I go there, the buns are always but everywhere else, I've gone to Texas Roadhouse in Pennsylvania and New Mexico.
The buns are yay big. They're huge.
And that's how the buns should be. That Sunday we woke up really early, we got ready. My cousin Andrea got ready, and we headed over to the university, and we sit down and get my period. And like the thing is, like, I can hold in my pee. I can hold in using the bathroom, but there's something about just starting like the first day where it's like you can't hold it in. You have to use the bathroom. For some reason your bladder is like, you have to go. And of course when you go and you have to check, you're bleeding. So that's exactly what happened the minute we all sit down, like eager to see my cousin walk the stage, but thankfully none of the names were being called yet. And then when I got back, because tell me why that there's no like universal rules to have women's like menstrual products just for free for grabs in the bathrooms. Because tell me why in this bathroom getting a menstrual product is 10 cents. Do you think I'm carrying dimes on me in this day of age? I go back to my seat, I ask my dad, do you have a dime? Jingle in his pockets. He has 2 jingling in his pockets. He has 2 Abraham Lincolns. What are the freaking names for the 5 cents? He has 2 nickels. He has 2 nickels. Doesn't have a dime. And the place you can only put in a dime. My dad then asked my mom, hey, do you have a dime? My mom looking through her purse, doesn't have a dime. I asked my other cousin who came all the way from Maryland, hey, do you have a dime? He doesn't have a dime. My aunt and uncle in the back they look up and they're like, what are you guys looking for? A dime? No one has a fucking, like, why aren't they free? Why aren't they free? And I was just sitting there with the age-old toilet paper trick, like, okay, I'm gonna just sit here. It's fine. It's fine. It's just for a couple minutes, right? Yeah. Anyways, my cousin walks across the stage.
Andrea Esperanza Lopez.
Love you. It was really cool and inspiring. Like, me and my cousin were sitting there. Me and my cousins from Maryland, we were sitting there, and then whenever like we'd see someone like across the stage for bioengineering, we'd be like, oh, wow. It did inspire me to think about higher education for myself though, and that's something that I've been thinking about recently. So it was just a good time to have a thought, a good long thought, while I'm bleeding. Kidding, no. But I was. My mom did this fucked up thing. She was telling my cousin's mom, my aunt. I have two aunts there, my cousin's mom and then my other cousin's mom. You know how aunts work. I had two aunts, but my mom was telling one of my aunts, she was just like, because one of my aunts had to pee really bad, and then we were gonna go eat at a restaurant after, but my mom was telling that aunt, like, wait, you don't have to pee yet, let's go pee at the restaurant, we're gonna be at the restaurant soon. As that aunt was literally leaving the building, my other aunt came along, grabbed my mom, and was like, we're gonna go use the bathroom. And then they did, and that other aunt didn't have to use the bathroom. We literally had to all walk towards the car, take a couple pictures of my beautiful cousin, with their flowers, with the Gucci flowers, in the Penn State stadium. But like we all had to go wait for my mom and my aunt while they went to use the bathroom. Meanwhile, there's a swarm of people, and my mom is 4'11", and they just dip. Out of this swarm of people, they just leave. We take photos, we go to the car, we're waiting for my mom and my aunt, nowhere to be seen. And of course, they call 5 minutes later, and they're like, we're lost. We don't know where we are. We're in a parking lot. I see the letter B. Are you guys in the letter B? Bro. My mom got in that car, and we were giving it. We were teaching her a lesson. We were saying a few words. We were just putting her straight. And then she was like, who cares? You guys could have left me. I would have just paid an Uber all the way back home. We're in Pennsylvania, 5 hours away. Oh, and my dumbass, I forgot that I made plans with a friend that I had to go watch a movie at Syndicated in Bushwick. I'm in Pennsylvania. It is 12 p.m. I have to go watch a movie in Bushwick at 8 p.m. There's a 4 to 5 hour drive in there. With New York City traffic, New Jersey traffic, will I make it? I did, because I'm very determined. I will make it, and I will make it on time. And early. I'm a fucking freak. No, but like, the movie was the holdovers. How could I miss the holdovers during this holiday season? I wouldn't miss it for the world. I knew it. I knew I had to go. And after the movie was over, I got to my apartment and I had a literal freak panic attack. Just because between me cat sitting in this whole Pennsylvania, it's been a week since I've been in my own space. And just like the holidays, my cousin being here, spending time with my girlfriend, spending time with my roommate, spending time with my parents, it just all fucking hit me like a truck. And I just broke down, was probably sobbing for a long period of time between those 24 hours. I probably spent like maybe 5 hours just like crying because I finally was able to take a break, and then just, you know, the simple relationships of life just came plowing towards me, and I was like, I can't handle anything. I just don't have enough space for anyone, or you're not even myself. Yeah. Thankfully, you know, just my luck. My dad and my uncle were kind of a little sick during our Pennsylvania trip. So then guess who got sick because her defenses were really low because she was having a panic attack. This was just basically like the beginning of like my official 2 weeks of my holiday break, and I got hit like a truck. I spent my whole holiday break basically sick, but I think it was just a sign to just sit the fuck down and do nothing. That's exactly what I did for a few days. I spent like maybe a few nights back in my apartment because of how the cat sitting came out to be. I spent like a week cat sitting, a break because the cat owner's friend was staying in her apartment during that break, and then I had to go back to the apartment after to spend New Year's there. So I only had like a short period of time with my own things in my own space. But then I ended up going back cat sitting, and my cousin is also in love with this cat, so she joined me, and it was in Brooklyn, so she was able to have closer vicinity to the city. She basically rallied while I stayed homesick. There was a day where I couldn't taste anything.
Made myself some budak spicy ramen, and if the rumors are true, this must help. This is me before the spicy ramen. I'm hungry though. I don't know if I can eat all this.
And all I could do was sleep. I slept through 2 seasons of Stranger Things. Totally, because I was like, I'm gonna catch up. This is like the perfect opportunity to catch up. I just slept through the 2 seasons, 2 first seasons. And I like know the first season by heart, but the second season, besides the...
Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Your mom.
I don't really know what else comes to mind at the top of my head, quite honestly. So maybe I might rewatch it soon. My body was basically telling me to just shut up, sit down, rest. Because I have a hard time with that. I do. I don't take opportunities to do that often. The highlight of me being sick was definitely being able to watch After Sun. My cousin already talked to me about that movie and how much she loved it, and I knew I needed to watch it. Ever since it came out, I knew I needed to watch it, but I never had the time, I guess. And it was on YouTube for free with ads. It's just really strong. It's a really strong movie, and Paul Mescal really knows how to be super sensitive, and he shows up again in my holiday break, actually. Possibly. He'll come back. I just thought it was so smart. There's this shot in the beginning where, I don't remember their names, but where the daughter was laying down and like she was looking at the back of her dad's neck, and in that moment you could just tell that it would mainly be from her perspective, and that's just so smart. And also, we didn't notice this, but after we watched a YouTube video, we saw that from the very beginning you can tell that she's watching the tapes from when her and her dad went on this vacation, and because you can see the reflection.
Through a glitchy segue where we catch our first glimpse of adult Sophie in the TV screen's reflection,
It was very slow, but you pick up pieces along the way and you piece them together, and in the end you just get met with this like heart-breaking feeling. We're just seeing what she can only piece back together, and yeah, I liked it a lot. And then my cousin left. She had a friend from Arizona also come and visit during the time that she came, so they were hanging out a lot together. I was still sick. I didn't get to hang out with them that much, so I stayed home because I needed to recover. Well, a whole Christmas happened before she left, but honestly, Christmas was really chill this year. We just went to my parents' house and had really good food and watched Stranger Things. I spent my New Year's with my roommates. They were also sick. Isn't that crazy? We all got sick like separately. And then together, we came together when we were all sick. So we knew that we wanted to stay like chill. We originally wanted to go to New Orleans, but that didn't really work out budget-wise because we got tickets to go see Rosalia. So, you know, we spent the fun money that month. So we decided to stay in New York, and my roommate, Ariana, was like, well, I don't want to spend it at home. So I was like, okay, well, you can spend it with me and the cat. So Ariana and Rachel came all the way to Brooklyn, and we spent New Year's with Thomas. And then it was 12:02. We were on our way out to go see Stranger Things in theaters because we were like, well, if we're gonna stay in New York, might as well just go because we were like, well, if we're gonna stay in New York, might as well go see Stranger Things in theaters. So we got a screening for 12:40. We ran out that fucking house. We fucking ran. And tell me why we get to that theater and the movie doesn't start until 1:30 in the morning. There was some shit going on with the projector and we fucking bolted to the theater, dude. And we could have taken our sweet time. Even got something to eat beforehand. Man, fucking bolted to that theater. We got into the train and then I like ran all the way to our transfer. Ariana had to pee so bad she damn near peed her fucking pants. And we stupidly, maybe because we were a little drunk at this point, but we stupidly went up the wrong staircase. And like we saw escalators, so we thought, oh man, yeah, the staircase is gonna turn into escalators. No. It was one of those where like the escalators was going up and this was like the passageway with just the ginormous New York City subway stairs, about 3 flights. Mind you, we're all sick. We all have issues right now. We can't breathe. And we were all giggling because, oh shit, this is a reality. We have to go up these flights of stairs. Bro, we had to log in. We had to log in. Strangers saw our mistake. They were laughing at us. We had to climb up all the fucking stairs. Once we got to the top of the station, we were like, fuck, we're gonna be late. It's already 12:50. Oh my god, we have to order an Uber. We ordered an Uber. We got to the theater. The door person, she told me theater 3. Okay, I'm going to theater 3. We walk into theater 3. We're in the middle of Stranger Things. Elle is literally taking Vecna down. We can't even find our seats because we're in the wrong theater. We realize, oh shit, we're in the middle of the episode. We go outside, we're in the wrong fucking theater. We go into the right theater right across the hall. The movie hasn't even started yet. The movie doesn't even start until an hour later. I'm eating so much popcorn and Airhead bites. My mouth felt like sandpaper the next day, but anything to stay awake. Not like Stranger Things connoisseur. I don't know. I like the show, and I thought it was good. I thought it was optimistic. I thought it was hopeful. I thought a little bit of the dialogue was a little cheesy, but overall, I think it was a good way to end the series. Oh, also that night, we got really into reading our birth charts and tarot card readings, which caused me to not sleep that whole night, mainly because I was on a sugar rush, and I simply had the most horrible stomach ache because I only had Coca-Cola, popcorn, Airhead soft bites. So I could not sleep at all. So that caused me into a deep dive of my own birth chart. And just like trying to figure out my little compass, where am I going? So I spent that whole night like just thinking about life, and I was not able to sleep at all. So I still really wanted to go see my parents that day. So I just got, by this time, I haven't slept a wink. It's 7:30. I'm getting up. I'm going to Long Island so I can spend time with them, sleep in one of their beds. Just because I wanted to see them. So that's exactly what I did. I got up. I called my dad and I was like, I'm on my way. And he was like, oh, okay. I got my little butt on to the subway to Atlantic Terminal, and he called me while I was waiting at Jamaica for my transfer, and he was like, "Wait there, I'll come grab you." He came, he grabbed me, and he was like, "You want soup?" Which is perfect because I needed to eat something. My body needed something that was sustainable. He walked into this place that he was always curious to try out, and outside I saw the watermelon flag, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is on brand. But then also the word pizzeria. I was like, oh, okay. But it was really cool. We had like this chicken egg soup. It was really good. I went to my parents' house. I took a shot of NyQuil at like 11 a.m. knocked out in my brother's bed. And I didn't wake up until maybe 3 p.m. I don't know why. My parents are obsessed with not letting me sleep 7 to 8 hours. It's been my whole life. Don't know why. My dad knocks on the door. He's like, "It's been 5 hours. Get up." Did I not tell you I have not slept a wink? And I'm sick. Let me sleep. Anyways, he gets me up. He's like, "We're going to your uncle's to eat more soup." My dad has an obsession with soup. And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm gonna stay here. And that's exactly what I did. I just took myself from my brother's room into my living room, knocked out, until they came home. I watched Erin Brockovich. Is that the name? Is that her name? I watched Erin Brockovich. It was really cool. And I also watched that evil influencer thing, and that one was even crazier for me, because what are you telling me? Oh, I don't know the password to the lockbox downstairs, that very mysterious lockbox downstairs. I don't know the password to that. And then the password's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What the? And that same night, I went back to Brooklyn because I was still taking care of the cat. Honestly, went back to bed. Just needed to sleep. And then the next day, I had to get ready to start heading out. And I watched Cleo from 5 to 7. I've been trying to really get into watching more documentary, narrative style movies. I think I'm really inspired by them, and I really look up to the directors who make them, i.e. Agnes Varda, i.e. the director of Aftersun, i.e. the director of Hamnet. I told you Paul Mescal is coming again, wait. So I watched Lulu from 5 to 7. I know I needed to watch Agnes Varda. I just haven't had the time. I haven't had the time to sit down and put on one of her movies, but thankfully I finally did, and I really enjoyed it. There's just so many scenes that are popping over my head right now that I feel like if I were to go on a tangent on them, I might sound a little stupid. I just want you to know that I love this movie so much that I watched it again a few days later. It's just so charming. It's just so charming, and I think pretty brilliant. So, yeah. I watched Cleo from 5 to 7, and then I watched Friends while I cleaned up the apartment I was in, said goodbye to the little kitty, and I finally got back to my place. And it came to this weekend. The first thing that I did finally back here, I read Art and Fear. I got this book a couple months ago. One of my dear friends, Micah, recommended me this book. I already heard of it from a fellow YouTuber on here, and I really resonated with the video that a quote from this was in, and once Micah brought it up in our conversation, I was like, okay, I need to buy it. So then I bought it, and I finally was able to crack it open and read it, and I just want to read some of the notes that I took. Making the artwork you want to make means setting aside doubts so that you may see clearly what you have done and thereby see where you need to go next. Becoming an artist consists of learning to accept yourself, which makes your work personal, and in following your own voice, which makes your work distinctive. My job is to learn to work on my work. My job is to learn to work on my work. My job is to learn to work on my work. Even failed pieces are essential. You learn to make your work by making your work. The best you can do is make art you care about, and lots of it. The only people who care about your work is those who know you, and that's something to be thankful for. My favorite note in here. Oh, also, self-expression is a contemporary bias. I enjoy that one. But my favorite is becoming an artist consists of learning to accept yourself, which makes your work personal, and in following your own voice, which makes your work distinctive. Yes. And then, of course, I finally cracked into my darkroom, which I made a bunch of prints of my brother's engagement photos. My darkroom right now is in a tiny closet in our hallway, and it's really hard to maneuver in there, but I just needed to print. I've been working on this photo book of a collection of photographs I took in New Mexico for about 2 years now. But whenever I've been working about it, I've only been thinking about it. I needed to get in there and start printing. So, because I want to make, ultimately, that's the goal. I want to make my photo book of collection of photographs that I have from New Mexico. But I just knew that, one, the chemicals that I have are pretty old, so just probably not in the right condition. Two, the photo paper, as you can see, it's like not, like it shouldn't be like this. And then when I was printing, like the photo paper was like this, and it's like black bag. So I knew something was up. I don't have any more photo paper. This was all the photo paper that was in the rest of the black bag. I just needed to just keep printing and just keep on getting the hang of like being in there, being patient. I think that's what this break really taught me, is just to be patient and to take my time. Things take time. Things take time to work on. It takes time to even just be in your own body. And I've learned a lot about time. So in the process, and just taking it one thing at a time. So yeah, I listened to, what did I listen to in here? Oh my god, even music. I discovered so much music, and I really think that too. Turning the tables, I love turning the tables. I'm gonna put up a couple of albums that I've really been listening to. This one though, I Love My Computer. Is that the album? Inspiring, Sing Good or Good Sing. I love that song. I love it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on the top of my head of albums that I really enjoyed. But Turning the Tables really put me onto that album. Oh, I've also been listening to a lot of them. That's what I listened to in there. I listened to the whole reaction of the 1975 album. That long album name. I listened to the reaction to it, and so good. So that what I also listened to the whole Phoebe Bridgers album with Scott Street in it. I listened to that at least twice while I was in the dark room, and it got me through. But this is the first contact sheet that I did, that I did for a while. I don't know where the other one is. The one that I was like really based everything on. Maybe it's still outside, because I left these to dry outside of my hallway. But it literally is just print after print of my brother's engagement. I think I just wanted to get into the hang of things again. And just going back into being in the process. So yeah. Now, are these the best prints ever? No. But I made a bunch of them, so I'll cut them and I'll get them out to my family. And I'll continue working on it. Oh, here's the other one. So no, this is not the first one. This is the contact sheet that I used to try to figure out which negative I wanted to do. But this was the very first one. As you can see, it's very blown out because I didn't really know what I was doing because I needed to get used to it again. So yeah, I need to buy more paper. I need to buy more fix. I have no more fix. So there's a lot to be done. Yeah, I also watched Frankenstein with my roommates. Why was that such a beautiful movie? It was so beautiful, it was so sensitive. I knew nothing about Frankenstein. The only thing I knew about was, he's alive, he's alive. But I thought it was insanely beautiful how Guillermo del Toro literally translated that to Victor telling the monster, be alive. And then the monster in the end, like with the sun. Wow. Incredible. Honestly, not what I expected at all, so it was really slow for me, but like watching it through and just realizing the impact of the story and the new meaning. If there even is a new meaning, if there even is a new meaning, I don't even know anything about Frankenstein, but still, like, realizing the shift in perspective, it was great. Now that brings me to today, which I watched Zootopia and I watched Hamnet. Here we go, guys. Here's Paul Mescal again. Yeah, I guess I had a very Paul Mescal holiday. But I watched Hamnet before my 2 weeks off, and then I watched it again today. And I realized, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I really do. I really adore Chloe Zhao. I think that's the name of the director. I loved No Man Land. So yeah, I'm just remembering I had a poem from No Man Land that I wrote down. The notebook is right here. If I can. I must have written this poem while I was here. Talk about synchronicities. Talk about. This is literally by Shakespeare, and I watched Hamnet today. Tell me, oh my god, and it's from the same director. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hamnet is incredible. The emotion is insane. I did not cry again, but hearing the sniffling around almost made me. But I didn't cry. That scene where Hamnet dies. Yeah, did you know that Hamnet dies? And that's how they made Hamlet. When Hamlet dies, where he literally takes the sickness from his sister and he's like laying down, being like, I am brave. And then we see him in his father's play, looking up at the hawk. Are you kidding me? Wow. And that's it, actually. I already did Art and Figure, darkroom printing, and trials and errors. And everything's a freaking trial and error. Everything around here is a freaking trial and error. Yeah, I finally was able to take a shower today, and I can finally breathe. I'm no longer sick. I'm no longer sick. And I finally had some coffee today. My favorite kind of latte with cinnamon and honey. Psh, delicious. And I went to Joe's Coffee for a second cup, and I got that sugar cookie latte. I don't know, man. I still don't know what the frig I'm doing. I just knew that I wanted to talk about my winter break. So that was my winter break. I have work tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Oh, by the way, I'm not doing reaction videos anymore. I'm letting myself free from that chain. I realized that I just wanted to watch season 2, and I tried it, and that's all that matters. So, yeah. Anyways, good night, everyone. I must go to bed. I must lay my head on my pillow. Buenas noches. Good night.